So here's the question. This person has, I think, a conure and wants to add a Cape Parrot. Will that work? How best can you do it? What's that all about? Well, first I'll say that, one of the things that's really going to affect this is the age. And there's Zeus. Let's see if we can help you see Macy. Zeus, of course, is an African gray, and Macy is a Cape Parrot who's bowing her head, and so you could see very little of her. Can you step up? No, you want pets. Come here. The age is going to make a big difference because parrots, when they grow up together and they're like being fed together, they will bond more, and at that point, mixing species is a lot easier. On the other hand, once they're like a year old, 2 years old, it's not as easy. And when they are full-fledged adults, it becomes even harder. Why? For the same reason that, if I put you in a foreign country where you didn't speak the language, you probably wouldn't be able to talk and make friends very easily, kind of thing. So is it impossible? No, it could take some time. And it could work out, but it's just not going to be the same bonded friendship as it would be if you grew up together or if you were the same species. When parrots are the same species, then they tend to bond much better. So I wouldn't wait a year to get the second parrot. I would get them at the same time. You're going to really increase the chances that then the parrots are more likely to get along, even though they are two different species. When you get one parrot this year and you plan on getting the next parrot next year, one of the problems is this first parrot then doesn't get to learn to get along with the second parrot. They only get along with you, and they often kind of start to lose their parrotness. If you get them at the same time, they retain more of that parrotness while still bonding with you, doing what I call bridging the worlds between the parrot world and the human world, getting to be in both worlds. That's a pretty darn good thing. Now, if you wait a year, the other thing that happens is that first bird thinks that it's your mate, and then a third person comes on the scene and now they feel threatened. And a lot of the times, they then don't get along with that bird and it causes problems. So I wouldn't wait. And I know that Cape Parrots are expensive, but I would really get them at the same time. It's going to make a really big difference. Or if you're going to do something like get the green cheek conure, and green cheek conures, they should be sold in pairs. In Germany, you can only buy parrots 2 at a time. They could be the same gender if you don't want to have them reproduce, but they have to be 2 together. Why? Because they're so social. So if you want, I would get the 2 green cheek conures, and then next year get the Cape Parrot, and yes, I would get 2 Cape Parrots. I have never experienced my Cape Parrots being really loud and obnoxious, but I've never had just one Cape Parrot. And I learned from a friend of mine that one Cape Parrot goes crazy sometimes and makes a high-pitched sound because they're lonely and they're unhappy. They are all meant to be in a flock, with few exceptions. But even the exceptional birds that aren't meant to be in a flock, that are more independent, they hang out around other parrots. So they still expect to hear other parrots. They still expect to fly in and hang out. So really consider getting 2 of a species, and or really consider getting both species at the same time. You think you want to bond with one at a time, but it's not going to make a difference. If you put the time in, it won't matter, and it's going to be a lot easier on you, and they're going to be a lot happier too. Thank you for joining me in this blissful video. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to put them below, and then give me one of these. If you want any awesome parrot merch like my t-shirt that my daughter designs, she's saving some money for college, I use my proceeds to help support my flock, then please visit shop.parrotbliss.com, and Ursula and I will see you in the next feathered video.